On KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! Let's go to the house! Let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? It's hot now. It's hot now. Let's go. It's hot. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh, no, this game is just getting started. Right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Winning Wednesday, and I got to tell you, this is one of those ones where I came in like, man, what are we doing? I'm so glad Garrick Jones is here. David Grubb is hopefully going to be able to join us today. Garrick, first of all, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm hanging in there, man.
Yeah, man. Garrick, I don't know why I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. But wherever that is, that's where I am.
I feel you, man. It's like a broken record, unfortunately. Our people are on the end of it all the time from the looks of it. From everything that's going on, and that's the frustrating thing about it. But in that frustration, we have to keep pressing forward and keep pushing the envelope and in hopes that we can get our point across that it's time for a change, a distinct change. And it's not just happening. We have to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Garrick Jones, of course, former Houston Texan, former NFL player, CFL, commissioner and founder of the S.D.F.L, and GM candidate for the NFL, hopefully with the Houston Texans. Man, last night, let me preface this, first of all, by saying I'm in one of those spaces right now where my energy is so different right now that I don't when I get out of here, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't. And I know I'm probably going to lose some friends because some folks are waiting on me to connect with them and respond to them and what have you. I don't have it in me right now, man. I'm just like numb. I don't have words to express how I'm feeling right now. And I don't want to infect anybody with that. But I got myself together. I jumped on a Zoom conference call with you and some amazing people last night. And it was just what I needed to get through to now. And tell everybody about what you did last night with a diversity and inclusion seminar, workshop.
Well, what we do is we host bi-weekly diversity and inclusion webinars and seminars. And in doing that, we get the opportunity to educate, all of those that want to be educated because they want to make a distinct change. And it's something that was near and dear to my heart because, you hear about so many different people going through so many different things. But for me, I'm about that action. I had the opportunity and I was approached by Lynn Cashmere as well as Lewis Senior of Equilibria and Equilibria Sports. And we have a partnership with my developmental football league where we are teaching intentional communication, and really getting down to the brass tacks when it comes down to learning how to talk to people, how to deal with people, how to communicate, and how to take that to the next level. But they approached me about, putting on diversity and inclusion webinars, and I happily jumped on it because it's time for people to really step up, and I feel like I'm one of those people that can lead this charge and lead this change. Not only do I want to be a general manager or upper management in the NFL, but I also walk the walk that I talk, and that's on a daily basis. So the conversations that we had yesterday are some of the ones that we've been having. And I've been challenging a lot of people to step up to the plate because 80% of this thing is showing up. I mean, it's very easy to go back and forth, on a keyboard. It's very easy to be, to do things and be unaccountable for them or held accountable for what you're saying. But it's power in the tongue and it's power in those keys too. And my thing is, let's figure out what the biases are. Let's get to the root of this thing. And then from there, what we do is we begin teaching these youngsters the right way. Because we're not going to be able to give them everything, but we're going to give them just enough to where they can add to it, and eventually we get a chance to get away from some of these generational curses, man, and change this world. I'm all about change. I'm all about being a change agent. So it's not necessarily something that I just want to do just for the notoriety. This is in me, and this is what we need to do. This we need to have this,
Man, I got to tell you, just seeing the diversity on the webinar, hearing the hearts of the people on the webinar, hearing the transparency of the people on the webinar, and then, the principles. I mean, they're common sense, but they're profound. And they're things that if you just put it on automatic pilot, you might overlook, some of those things. But hearing them called out, bringing them to the surface, and then applying them with people who might not look like you, who might not be in the same financial status as you, who might not be in the same age, because it wasn't just about diversity in race. It was diversity in gender. It was diversity in all of it. And I loved it. The above surface and below the surface diversity issues were amazing. And man, if we could roll that out and put it up on, on the big screen and make everybody see that. I love the national anthem, but we all know we're an American. We all love this country, and I'm tired of fighting over that. Put that bad boy up and let, a good 5-10 minutes of that roll through before NFL games, and you might have a bigger impact than what we're doing right now.
We got them, and I tell people all the time, what we have our hands on is the answer. And I can say that with wholeheartedly with all kind of confidence because I know what it's like, and that's when I get to my perspective within those webinars, I get the opportunity to tell people what I've gone through, my situations and my dealings with the police force, police officers, things that I worry about with my children, things that I worry about when I leave my home. A lot of people don't get that until they get a chance to be exposed to it. And then we bring it to light and we start educating them. Once we get them, man, I'm telling you, it's a 2-part series. We do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the Tuesdays are kind of above level,
Okay.
The Thursdays, we go deep. We go deep. And, I mean, when we're done, man, you're talking about exhausted. You're talking about tired. You're talking about we got uncomfortable in order to make sure that everybody understands what's going on and how we're going to change it. And that's what I enjoy about it, man, because we'll start at 7 and we probably won't end until 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah. And the beautiful thing about it is by the time we're done, we're not only just in that together on screen, we become family. Yeah. And I have so many people that have reached out to me from those, like, man, we thank you for being so transparent because we didn't really know. And that's what it's all about, just teaching and educating. And then when we get to the real movement,
Yeah. Hey, man, I got to take a break, but when I come back, what's the young man that works with the group? His name is Mark or Mike? He was in my group.
Mark. Yes.
Okay. The man, let me tell you, Mark bless me. We'll talk about that when we come back. We got Garrick Jones. He is the founder and the commissioner of the S.D.F.L, former Texan, former NFL player, former C.F.L player, and in the process right now of becoming a general manager in the NFL, hopefully the Houston Texans. And again, we'll talk about all that next when we come back on the lunch break. 281-453-1000 if you want to get in. 281-453-1000. I know a lot of folks were waiting on me to talk about Jacob Blake yesterday. My thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. That press conference yesterday with his family, it did me in. It did me in. So, again, y'all bear with me. We'll talk about it transparently right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Be sure to tune in to Motivational Thursdays on Shiloh Radio, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., where you will be encouraged, inspired, and excited on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm Linda J. We all know Election Day is just around the corner. We want change. We need change. We can be the change. Exercise your right for change on Election Day. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. So let's roll to the polls in record numbers, and we can make that change. This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
If you or a loved one is a survivor of abuse by Boy Scouts of America representatives as far back as the 1970s, we urge you to speak up. We'll stand with you and get you the help and financial compensation you deserve. A jury in Portland, for example, awarded $18.5 million in punitive damages in one Boy Scout sexual abuse case. The Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy, and funds have been set aside to compensate those injured. Time is limited, and so are the funds. Call today. Don't wait. For free information on how to file your claim, call All Survivors Advocates right now. We have a long track record in helping our clients get the legal justice and compensation they deserve. Please, we are ready to help you. Call today.
800-351-7914. 800-351-7914. 800-351-7914. That's 800-351-7914.
Hi, this is Sonia from Southeast Houston, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on 92.3 and KYOK.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Winning Wednesday. I got Garrick Jones on with me today. Again, he's used to play with the Houston Texans, played with the Atlanta Falcons. Then you went north of the border on us, played up there in Canada. Oh, Canada. And then, bro, you decided to step out there big on faith, founder and the commissioner of the S.D.F.L. And you're still doing great things, man. You were putting in the work to be a candidate for a general manager position in the NFL, preferably with the Houston Texans. But, man, I got to tell you, I applaud you, brother. I applaud you, black man, because you are doing it. Can't nobody say, well, he needs to prove himself. You're doing it. You're doing it.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother. Like I said yesterday, when you showed up, man, I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've had a lot of people on, but when you hopped on, you know, that was confirmation for myself, man, because I knew once we got a chance to get into it, you know, you would see how it was structured and what we're doing in the direction that we're headed. And I tell everybody, man, we're in this thing to change the world. I don't do anything to not change the world. And that's what I'm trying to instill in my children from them watching me, because it's like my father. I watched my father work hard, you know, and I it was times where I would work with him, and it was times that I just sit back and watch him. And I see my youngsters doing that with me. And I want to be able to leave them that blueprint that, man, whatever you want to do, you know, put your mind to it, you know, put your blinders on and let's go get it. You know, that's all it is to it, man. But I just want to be an agent of change. I just want to be a credible messenger. I want to be, you know, what God put me on this earth to be. And that's what we're doing right now.
And Garrick, I'm glad to hear you say that about watching your father and, you know, being a young man, looking up to his dad, learning the work ethic. Because when we see what happened with Jacob Blake, right, I'm starting to hear the normal talking point. Oh, he was a convicted criminal, and right, he had, you know, domestic abuse issues, and he had resisting arrest issues and stuff. But people, it's almost like they don't see us as black men who grew up, you know, looking at our fathers and our mothers and father figures and what have you. We're our past, we're convicted criminals, we're our mistakes, we're our bad choices, but they don't look at themselves like that. So I just wonder, when can we get to the human status as right, opposed to a rap sheet status?
You know, I think, and it goes back to a lot of what I've spoken on, you know, in earlier interviews, man. Everybody's listening to respond. Nobody's listening to understand and really get it, yeah, and really get what we go through. The words "I can't breathe," they talk to all these different spaces with black men, not just the fact that, you know, we're profiled by the police officers. There's so many different things that we go through on a daily basis can be stifled. You know, the stresses of life in general, you know, the family dynamic, the aspect of trying to be a provider, but not necessarily having or being equipped to be the provider that you need to be. The systemic racism, the aspects of being in a fishbowl where, you know, you're fed certain aspects to see what you would do. It's almost like being lab mice in yep, a sense. And it's unfortunate because, you know, we're here and we're survivors, and our ancestors, that blood runs through our DNA. Right. And we're going to continue to survive. But I think we're in a day and age right now where we're educated. You know, we're seeing these things firsthand. You know, there are a lot more cameras out there. There are a lot more social commentary out there that are exposing a lot of different things. And it's time for a change. And it's going to be one of those deals where we have to show people, you know, we have to be about that action. And that's just what it is.
Garrick Jones joining us here on the lunch break. All right, so I promise, man, and this is the thing, I be trying to look out for people even when they don't give a doggone about right, looking out for me. So I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, a little town called Forest Park, and I follow a lot of my former classmates and friends from back in the day. A good brother made a post, and he said, telling black men to respect cops so that they don't get killed, it's like telling women to dress appropriately so that they don't get raped. Right. Good post. It makes sense. I got it. But then another one of my former neighbors from my hometown says, really? If they just followed directions instead of resisting, they would still be alive and could take it up legally per a number of black commentators like Brandon Tatum. Now, I don't know who Brandon Tatum is, but, you know, they always get this one black person what's my guy's name? I can't even think of his name now. Hold on, let me get his name because I want to get Jason Whitlock. Okay. They get one black guy, or they get Candace Owens, and they say something different than what we see with our very eyes.
Right.
And all of a sudden now they've got the person that speaks for all black people. Yeah. And I'm just like, wait a minute. So you're okay with a black man or woman getting killed because they didn't obey the commands. Right. So it's obey the commands or die. There's nothing in between.
No gray area.
Okay, right, with that.
Right, and that's where, like I say, they're listening to explain or make a point, and that's sad because the officers can't be judge, juries, and executioners all in one breath. I don't. It doesn't matter if you were a serial rapist. It doesn't matter if you were a killer. That is not your job to be God. That's not your job. That's not in the description. So what has to happen is when it comes down to police and policing, there has to be a reprogramming, a retooling of what goes on. There have to be a criteria. There has to be some rules that are set in stone, but at the same time, that thing needs to be broken down and rebuilt back up in order for it to be some real policing going on. No matter whether you have one bad apple or you got 5 bad apples, that whole bunch is messed up. And it's the same thing in our communities. Yeah. We have to take the initiative and say, look, this is what it is. But when it comes down to people just chiming in, I see it all day, every day. And it's sickening, but it's one of those things where you're going to get that because that's where they come from. They've never been in this place. They've never had to ride with their wallets right there on their laps. They never had to ride with the insurance right above their head. They never had to think about those things. It's almost like having a newborn baby. Before you go use the bathroom, you have to come up with a game plan to make sure that the child is okay. You might even have to take them to the bathroom with you if nobody's there. It's the same thing when we leave the house. We have to go through everything, a checklist, and that's not fair.
It's not. And I made a post a couple of days ago over the weekend that I was on a conference call, video chat, where a guy said out loud, I don't believe in systematic racism. Right. I don't believe this. But went on to take over the whole call and tell us about this intricate sex trafficking in furniture being shipped all over the world, just like you're ordering a pizza. You can believe in a conspiracy theory that complex, but you can believe in systematic racism. We ain't even in the same discussion.
Right. It's just one of those things, man. It always goes back to I need to make my point. I need to be on a platform. I need to be on this soapbox so I can take away from what's going on. It's just like to say his name, say her name situation. What is happening is there's always a response to anything that somebody does that starts to get attention. And for us now, the light is shined right on us as a people, as a product of this environment, as just beings in this world. And there are so many people who are livid because of that, and livid because of the fact that it's making changes now. And that's the shift that I speak about all the time. It's about human rights, period. Point blank. It's about civil rights. Right. It's not about being equal in this. We're arguing about civil rights. Right. We were marching about civil rights. Where we are today is we are a people that are fed. I mean, it's only so much that you can take. You can poke a bear all day, every day, but eventually he's going to say, you know what, enough of this. And that's where we are right now. And these youngsters are out there, they're protesting. They're trying to get things done as peaceful as possible. But at the end of the day, there is a byproduct that comes from it. It's the way of this world, man. And it's hard, but I think we can get it done. We just got to stay consistent.
Garrett, give me a minute. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about the comments of Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the potential of certain teams saying they're not going to play if they have to in the NBA playoffs, and what kind of impact that could really have. So we'll do that next. Right here, Garrick Jones joining us on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's Winning Wednesday, but man, I tell you, we got a long way to go before everybody is winning.
Right.
Cable bill forever, or get new satellite internet where cable can't go. Well, now you can have affordable satellite internet service for a few dollars a day. All you need is a mini satellite installed, and you can have unlimited internet connections wirelessly in your home or office. And no cable boxes means unlimited connections and no clutter. You can surf the internet or stream any of your favorite television services with no cable. And the best part is, satellite internet service costs only a few dollars a day for your entire home. Yes, fast internet to surf or stream television for a few bucks a day. Call now for free details and learn how to drop your expensive cable bill.
800-712-8044. 800-712-8044. 800-712-8044. That's 800-712-8044. Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Anderson 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Anderson takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid in full within 12 months. Other conditions apply. We've adjusted our operations to serve you safely following all CDC guidelines. Visit renewalbyanderson.com for details.
Hi, this is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, we appreciate you right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our winning Wednesday, but man, I'm just gonna be real, bro. I am going through the motions. And let me just say this real quick. There was a young man, a 5-year-old boy, that was killed in North Carolina by a black next door neighbor who literally walked up and shot the little 5-year-old boy. And you had a whole bunch of people with his life mattered too. His life mattered too. First of all, let me just say this. Cannon Hennett and his family did not deserve what happened to him. And by all means, his life mattered by all means. But to try and use it as a rallying cry against black people being shot in the street and in their homes and stuff like that, it's just crazy to me, because this young man's killer was caught, arrested, prosecuted, and is on the way to jail for the rest of his life, if not going to suffer the death penalty.
Correct.
You got Breonna Taylor, whose killers are still not arrested.
Right.
Elijah McClain, whose killers are still not arrested. Right. You got Ahmaud Arbery, who it took months for their killers to be arrested.
Right.
The man in Atlanta, and now the situation up in Wisconsin. So I'm not trying to compare the two. Right. I'm just trying to say people are trying too hard to do a one-up. We could be mad about all of them. We don't have to not be mad about this one and only be mad about that one. That's not what Black Lives Matters mean.
Right. Absolutely. No, I get you completely. And the thing about it is, for us to get any type of justice, unfortunately, we got to be on camera. The wrongdoings that go on with us have to be caught red-handed in order to facilitate the officers or whoever else is in the act of being caught and convicted, and that right there, that's not a good deal, because the story about the young man Cannon, that didn't get national attention, and that young man was caught, and he's on his way. But you talk about Breonna Taylor, we have to have petitions, we have to have war cries, we have to have people in the streets protesting, and that's what this thing is about. It's about being equal. It's about everybody mattering, and we just want our just due when it comes down to that, because that clearly has not been the case since we made it to shore, and it's not one of those things that is going to go away anytime soon. but we can continue to make these moves and just try to get it out there, because it has to happen, man. We're tired.
Jones is joining us here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, former Houston Texan, NFL player, CFL player, founder and commissioner of the S.D.F.L, and in the process of now becoming a general manager in the NFL, hopefully with the Texans. We got a caller, Garrick. Let me go ahead and get them on. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this calling?
AJ, it's Todd.
Hey, Todd, what's up?
Hey, man, so I want to call in real quick. I may be jumping the gun a little bit because I think you said earlier, you and Garrick were going to talk about some of the players maybe sitting out.
Yeah. And in fact, good segue, Todd. Very good segue. I know that the Toronto Raptors are saying that they might boycott the second round matchup in the playoffs. You have the Detroit Lions that literally said we're not going to practice, and there's still no word on if they're going to make that long term or short term. And then you've got LeBron making some calls and trying to make some connections before he makes any statements other than saying, black people literally are afraid. We're concerned. We're scared in some cases.
Oh, I wanted to tie in David Grubb. It was a few weeks back, and AJ, I'm going to paraphrase, so correct me if I'm misquoting him, right? So when the NBA playoffs started, I remember David saying he was kind of over the kneeling, all right?
Yep.
He was kind of over, like, the symbolic part of it, of, like, the kneeling, the
Go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry. That was me.
No, it's okay. And he was kind of over that, and he was ready to see action. You know what I mean? And, like, when Colin Kaepernick kneeled, from that time until about now, I understand. I hear what David was saying. So, like, for me, as a white guy, just kind of watching, I guess, from a distance, if you will, is, let's say some of these teams, or let's say all of them, let's say all of the NBA teams that are remaining in the playoffs, that we're done. We're leaving the bubble today. We're done with this. Help me tie the connection of how that, what is the plan of getting us to the point where we stop those videos where an unarmed black man is getting killed? Like, where's the connection of these pro teams, boycotting, not playing anymore, and making change inside these police departments, whether it's with the training, the hiring, whatever, where we actually see these situations go away?
Todd, that's a good question. Let me go ahead and have me and Garrick answer it with you off air, if that's okay.
It's fine.
Okay, thanks, Todd. Garrick, he brings up a good question. Let me take first stab at it.
Okay.
For me, you got to hit people in a place where they feel it, and if you hit them in the wallet, while the wallet is not as big right now as it was in the past, they still have contracts to TV deals. They still have contracts to sponsors, and they've got several more games left in that package of sponsorships. So if the players shut it down, then guess what? Somebody's got to answer to that. And then heaven forbid it get contagious in the NFL to the point where they don't start at all. In both of those cases, you're talking about billions of dollars and sponsorships and television. And now that means executives and team owners have to make some phone calls to say, yo, y'all are affecting my bottom line. Do something about this police brutality thing. Do something about it. And it's got to be more than symbolic, because my guys are saying they're not coming back.
Right. No, you hit it right on the head, man. That's the start. And that's what the kneeling is about. It's like I said, we have to have a platform where it's amplified in order for something to happen. And that's having, like on the job, you're interviewing, you got to be 6 times or do 6 times as much in order to get half of what somebody else is getting, And it's the same situation, because 80% of what goes on out there is us, and we're the engines. And for these guys to say, you know what, this is, we have to expedite this thing. We got to fast track this.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the situation. So when you start hitting the bottom line and hitting the pockets, now the people that would have normally not gotten involved, they're going to have to get involved. So it's really forcing the hand in order to start facilitating this change that's much needed. Because if we try to do it on our own, if we're out in the communities and we don't have cameras on us, if we don't have that actual platform, we're still in the same spot, for more and more years to come. And right now, we have been making some strides. It's being brought to the forefront, and that's why a lot of people are upset about it. A lot of people, like, man, how could you do this? Or, right now is the time to go ahead and make these changes. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's just like going to a gym. If you're not uncomfortable in the gym, you're in the way. You got to move. I need that machine, and that's where we are right now. We have to be uncomfortable in order to get the gains that we all want, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, again, to get something different, you got to do something different. Right. And I feel like the players are either at that point or about to be at that point where they say, listen, they're not listening with the T-shirts. Right. They're not listening with the names on the back. They're not listening with us kneeling during the anthem. They're not listening during, Black Lives Matter on the court. So guess what? Maybe we need to stop entertaining them so they'll start listening to us. And I'm sorry, say what you want to say, because you got those homers out there. Oh, well, they can just get other players. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're not going to be able to sell that product at that level with other players. We've seen them try it. It does not work. So and again, a little bit more organized movement in the NBA than the NFL. But if a bunch of black people back in the 60s could shut it down by not riding the bus and not collecting the trash, then I guarantee you, as addicted as America is to its sports, don't let it get contagious in the NCAA. Yeah. Don't let it get contagious in other, periphery sports. Somebody is going to make a phone call that's going to make a difference, and something is going to happen, because we need something to happen. Badly. Yes, sir. I'm with you, man. You summed it up. Garrick. Yes, sir. Again, a pastor made a post that black people didn't get called lazy until they stopped doing work for free as slaves. Right. Oh, you hit that right on there. He hit that on the head. Our people built this country. Our people built this country out of force, out of fear, and the aspects of just trying to survive has been passed down from generation to generation. That's been our curse. Everybody's trying to survive. We never have thrived as a collective, and we are not lazy. We are not a lazy people. You think about how strong the bloodlines are of our ancestors. Man, we can make it through anything. If you can make it through slavery, you can make it through anything. And that's where we are today. Something has to happen, and we are people that we're going to demand that from here on out, and that's just what it has to be, because we just want equal rights. We want to be treated human. That's it. Yeah, Garrick, you've been in those locker rooms with a couple of different organizations. Right. Somebody comes to you, the leader of the team comes to you and say, "Yo, man, I'm thinking about not playing. Why don't you sit out with me?" Right. What do you say, and how does something like that? I know you've never experienced it, but how would something like that spread in an NFL kind of setting? Well, you take the COVID-19 situation. These guys are putting their lives on the line. This is a life and death situation now. This isn't a game. This isn't a hurt ankle or a bad knee. This is long-term life defect. This is long-term quality of life that these guys may lose, just by going out and trying to entertain. Of course, they're going to get paid, but they're not getting paid what they're worth. Right. If you sit down and you look at exactly what's going on in this world today and how much money is being generated in these leagues, you'll see quickly that the players are not getting paid what they're worth. And that's because the players are putting their lives on the line. So that's one of the driving factors. And then the fact of just being heard as a collective. Once everybody understands what the move is and what has to happen, it's not hard. It's not hard at all to get guys involved with different things, because everybody, unlike a lot of the fans, because they haven't been educated to what goes on with the players, that's a job. And these guys have families. These guys are citizens of the community, believe it or not. We're not superheroes, even though we've been programmed to fight through everything, all kind of adversity and pains and those types of things. But ultimately, it's all about guys just getting together, and trust me, they're talking. They are talking about it. It's being brought up right now in training camp.
as guys are practicing and as guys have their breaks, guys are talking like, man, okay, so what happens if we do this? And they're strategizing, trying to figure out the best way to make the biggest impact as possible. And once that's figured out, I pray that the NFL gets it and they take off running with it, because the ball is clearly in their court now. If the NFL gets it, they can make the change. They can make it, and it can fall right on them. So
yeah, and that's what I say. Bus and trash made a change back in the '60s. I'm not saying it was buses and trash, but those were the key components. Right. You got 32 people in the NFL that have President Donald Trump's number on speed dial. Siri, call Donald Trump, and Siri will start dialing. And listen, Donald is fill in the blank. Yo, man, my bottom line is getting affected because your blue, the bad part of your blue, keeps shooting people on national TV. Make it stop. You wanted football. You wanted us to get started. We did our part. My people are asking me to tell you to do yours. So it can happen there. I guess my question is, what will make it happen there?
It's going to take a united front, man. It's going to take the sleeping giant. Like I say, a lion isn't necessarily worried about sheep. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time to worry about it. And we are the lions. And once we are awakened, and it's a collective front, and we are together and we're unified, a lot of things are going to change. And that's kind of been the deal of having that divided front for so long, and just keeping everybody segmented and compartmentalized for so long that you don't even know that you're compartmentalized. You don't even know that you can move around and you can do what you need to do in order to take care of your family. But like I said, now we're in a position because we see it. We see it every day. We became numb to it. But now we have to, we really got to put our best foot forward. And I believe that once guys really understand the power that they have, and they have, they're really started to figure out that they have power in their numbers and the strength in numbers. It's not just a cliche. It's something that's for real. And we're going to see a lot of change in professional sports, the NCAAs for sure. It's about to be a really big shift, man. And I just want people to be ready for that, because it's going to change the dynamic of the world. And I'm ready for it.
Garrick, I got one more question for you. I got a quick break, though.
Yes, sir.
If you can, give me one more second.
No, you good.
Okay. We'll be right back with Garrick Jones right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. If you want to get in, please, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
You're a diabetic. You need
I'm here as long as you need me, man.
Don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921. Paid for by GoHealth.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Winning Wednesday. I've got Garrick Jones joining us. Of course, he played with the Houston Texans, played in the NFL with a couple other teams, and then back up in the CFL, and then got out there and did it the way I like it, man. Founded and is the commissioner of the S.D.F.L. and is now in the process of becoming a general manager in the NFL, preferably with the Houston Texans. Garrick, thanks for the time, man. More gracious than ever before. I appreciate you.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man. I thank you, brother.
Man, here's a question I've always wanted to ask you. Having been a player on the NFL level, how do you guys look at somebody like a Jason Whitlock who never played the game, but will go after players, and not just players, but star players,
right,
as if he's got the street cred, the knowledge, the insight, like he done strapped them all, laced them up, and bumped heads like y'all out there doing? How do y'all look at the Jason Whitlocks of the world?
I mean, once you remove the emotional content from a lot of the stuff that he says, he's just a guy. He's a dodgeball victim. And that's what guys look at him as. They understand that he has a job to do. And when you got somebody in that position that has a job to do, you just look at it just like that, man. You know, some guys let it get under their feathers. They ruffle their feathers a bit. But once you really take the emotion away from him, you know, that's his job. He's supposed to do that. But he's not from any hood that I'm from. I can promise you that, you know, and that's what guys understand, because if he was out there playing, I'm pretty sure that they would find another Jason Whitlock or somebody that'll jump in there and just jump through those hoops and say whatever and not really think about the ramifications of what they're saying. Because guys, this is our job. These are guys' jobs. I mean, just like with myself, they try to find any dirt on me, anything that went on, just to harp on me. And I love it, because I love the bullets. I love the shots. But you got some guys that, you know, they'll bite into it. But I mean, he's just a dude, man. He's, you know, you can't look past. You got to look through him. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those guys.
Bro, let me tell you something. I have so much more respect for you than I even did before. Because, bro, right. I'll be like them cats that be trying to meet you in underneath the tunnel, man. Yo. Man. What was that you wrote in your little article about me? Hey, come here. Don't run
now. Man, listen.
I'm following you to your car, bro. I'm looking inside the back part of your ear hole, man. I'm like, I need you to talk to me.
Right.
But you got that control, bro. I don't know if I have it, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You got to look at it like that, because the moment you do something like that, now that's more of a story. You know what I'm saying? And that's hurting your bottom line for your family. So you have all those clauses in those contracts with the NFL. I mean, man, you know, the moral clause, the different things that goes on. And the moment you step outside of that, you know, is it going to be worth it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that moment of satisfaction of going upside his head or talking crazy to him, that's going to be quick. But now you got the rest of your life to deal with that. So it's like, don't, you know, you got to be smart with it. But a lot of guys had a hard time, and I'm like that too. But at the end of the day, I got to look at what is that gonna affect the main thing, you know, and that's what it's all about. Like, okay, you got it. You know it. You've been out there. You've been there. You've done that. You know. But unfortunately, people give him and give other people like him so much credibility, so much stock in what they're saying, and that's the way of this world, man. It's judge of public opinion, you know, before anything else. And it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, Jason Whitlock and Skip Bayless are literally making their names off of being antagonists of LeBron James.
Right.
And I get it, because the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, they got ratings that I'm like, how in the world are people listening to Jason Whitlock? But You know, and I get it, but I guess that South side of me, South side.
Oh man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Hold on, man. Let me slow your rise a little bit. Let me let you know I'm a real person with real feelings, and every now and then I get real homesick to the old man.
Who you telling? I mean, that's just what it is, man. And it's like I say, it would be a situation, you know. I mean, because of what he does. But I mean, if you put me in that platform, he has a platform where people look at that and they take that as the gospel. And it's unfortunate, especially when you have all these athletes that are just out there trying to feed their families, do their job, and at the same time entertain a lot of fans that don't understand all the logistics of what goes on for these games and how much money is being generated. Because you never ever see or hear how much these teams are making, as opposed to what those athletes are being shown, and they're making it public. So it's a little chess being played, man. But it's the deal. It's the deal.
And again, you bring up another good point. Garrick Jones here joining us on the Lunch Break Winning Wednesday. People don't realize you don't get to see the books of the NFL owners. That what they're worth is estimated. It's not like they audited the books and say, oh yeah, the Dallas Cowboys are worth $5 million. It doesn't work like that. It's like you guys are doing guesswork on what they're working with, but they post y'all salaries like bling, 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 down to the penny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that a lot of that is intentional, you know, because the fans see that and say, okay, these guys are overpaid. These guys are spoiled athletes. That's where the shut up and dribble comes from. It's like, no. This is a job. This is a job where I am a specialist. I put in over countless hours in order to be in this position where I'm less than 1% of all the athletes across the world who made it. You know, and that's in essence what people look at, and then you have a lot of jealousy that comes in and creeps in. Unfortunately, you know, with a lot of fans that wanted to be in that position. So it's like, hey, you know, I'm paying your salary, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then it kind of pits the fans against the players, and you know, and then the owners kind of move back and just chill out and just kind of watch it unfold, and it's just not a fair scenario at all, man, because these guys are getting paid well, but they're not getting paid what they're worth. Not at all.
Garrick Jones, again, joining us here on the lunch break. So I asked you about Whitlock not having played the game. What about when you got a guy like Marcellus Wiley, who has played the game, and in some cases will be inexplicably critical, judgmental, and just downright wrong about other people having the First Amendment rights to be able to say and do what they're saying and doing? But man, sometimes Marcellus, when he gets in the wrong crowd, almost, you know, different. What do you say to a guy like that, whom you may have known personally or even played with back in the day?
Marcellus has a job to do. He's trying to keep his job. You know,
I love it, man. I love it.
No, I'm saying, it's like playing on the team, right? You have to fit into that dynamic of that team in order to be able to keep that job. So he has to fit into that dynamic, even though he's cut from the cloth of players. But that narrative that he could bring to the table about the players doesn't necessarily fit the criteria of that job that he has. So he got to keep that job. And guys understand that, but also you never can lose sight. It's like myself, being a former player, you know, and now looking to try to get into upper management. There are things that I won't be able to do as a player's mentality, that when I get into that position, I'll have to try to figure out how that dynamic and navigate that to make sure that I don't lose sight of that. But it has to be beneficial for all parties involved. And I think that what goes on with Marcellus, for him to be real, doesn't necessarily benefit that particular situation that he's in. So he's getting along or playing along just to get along, you know, and that's one of those deals. And it's sad. But there again, that man is out there trying to make sure that his family's going to be okay. And not to excuse that by any means at all, not to excuse that. But like I said, you think about everything that goes on. These guys don't think about the ramifications of what they're saying, because they can set the race back, you know. They can set the movement back. But in that moment, they're looking at, okay, how can I make sure that I have this money coming in? Because he's going from being a player where he had this amount of money to now being, you know, a commentator where he has this amount of money.
Right.
So he wants to stay as close to what he was getting as possible, because when you have that drop off, that's a hard thing to deal with. And if he messes around and says the wrong thing, it'll be somebody else waiting on the spot. and I don't think he's mentally strong enough to deal with not having that money coming in anymore. So there you go.
I gotta tell you, man, you are, bro. You are strong as I wish I was, man. I mean, what's the line for you? What is the line where a Jason Whitlock or Marcellus Wiley or somebody else? What's the line that they can cross for you where it's no longer about them just doing a job, where you've got to say something or respond back to what they've said?
Well, it's chess. You know, you have to be in a position or have a platform that's comfortable or more than to be able to be on a level playing field. Because if it's kind of like on the field, you know, the person that's retaliating is always going to get the flag, right? So if I come and I push you first, then all of a sudden I come back and I retaliate and I push you in your back, the ref is going to see that, right? So it's the same scenario. So what we have to do is be smart, number one. Number two, figure out how we can put the power in the athlete's hands to where now they have this platform where all of their content, all of their shows is owned by them. So they can say any and everything that they want. And trust me, that's coming. That is, I'm in the middle of that. Yeah. So it's about putting us in a position to have the power to now strike back, and then we're good. Like, okay, let's see what we got.
Somebody's gonna kill me. Somebody's been holding on. I am so sorry. I literally jumped right into this conversation. Caller, if you're still there, I'm bringing you on right now. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who is this?
Hey, it's Keith, man. This has been a great conversation to listen to, bro. So I'm good, man.
Nah, man, go ahead and get, especially you, Keith, go on and get your point in, bro, because, you know, I love your dialogue, man.
Thank you, man. Garrick, as always, it's a pleasure to listen to you, and now I'm honored to talk to you and just dialogue with you guys for a little bit. I just wanted to quickly point out, you guys were talking, and I jumped in. I apologize late. I'm streaming you on my phone. But I jumped in a little bit late when you guys were talking about the NBA players and then recognizing their power and being able to enforce that. One of the things that I wanted to kind of chime in on, man, is I think it's important that, Garrick, you kind of hit on this when you were talking about the Marcellus Wiley situation. I think it's important that for the players, and I don't know what you guys said in terms of whether you think they ought to protest or not, but I don't think that they should from this perspective. Until you understand that the league is supporting you in every aspect that they can, and more importantly, that they're still your primary source of income, I think you got to use that primary source of income and then devote funds and create another voice for the communities that you are trying to support through the protests and through the movement. And I just wanted to get you guys' take on that.
Keith, thank you, man. I appreciate the comment, man. We'll answer it offline, bro. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thank you, bro.
All right. Good, brother. Always brings the IQ level of the show up, man. What are your thoughts about his question, man? Because I think he brings up a very good question.
Yeah. No. To segue off what he said, that was in the process. But I think any and every time you continue to see somebody being killed, that expedites those feelings and emotions jump in. And then from there, a lot of this stuff has to be fast tracked, or else we won't make it, you know? So there are some things that are in the pipeline in regards to programs, in regards to monies being allotted and allocated for different things that can go on long term. But in the interim, with the long term strategies, you have to have, you know, some short term things in place. It's like you got to win right now, because if you don't put the mentality of win right now into an organization or a function or action, you give them the opportunity to buy into complacency, saying, "Oh, we'll do it next year. We'll do it next year after that." But people are dying, so we have to have a premium, and this is a priority in order to get some light shined on this. People are dying, and they've been dying, and something has to happen, because no matter whether criminals or not, they're dying at the hands of people who are not judge, jury, executioners. They're not God, and they're acting as God right now, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, let me do this. Let me hit the top of the hour, and then I want you to be sure and tell everybody where they can find you and follow you. I've got it posted right here on the.
I see it. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man.
Step up a little bit, bro. We try to step up. Man, again, let me hit the top of the hour, and we'll be right back. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. We'll be right back. Top of the hour, first hour on the book, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. I really want to appreciate Garrick Jones for hanging out with me for the entire first hour and got a little overflow right here. Garrick, let me throw one more thing at you, and I hate to keep doing that. I feel like a Baptist preacher. I'm about to close.
I'm here for all the smoke, man.
Give me 5 more minutes, and I'm about to close. I do it myself. Roger Goodell said that he wished that they had listened to Colin Kaepernick sooner.
Right.
And I guess my thought was, you think? But is that significant? Does that help anything? What does that do for the movement right now?
Well, there again, the fact that they know that there was a misstep there by not listening to him and allowing all of this to happen, they could have very well jumped in front of this and jumped in front of these shots. And we could be in a different space right now. If they would have just taken the initiative and been proactive in the deal. Everything that they're doing right now is reactive, but you have to have people in place. You got to have people in higher positions in the league to say, listen, you need to look at this because this is what could happen. And they didn't have that representation there. They just had players. And in the NFL, the players are at the bottom of the totem pole. You know, they might be gods to people that are fans, but they're on the bottom of the totem pole because somebody's cutting them a check. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have the right representation in those meeting rooms, if you don't have the right representation at the heads of these teams that can give you a diverse outlook on it and say, hey guys, I think we need to look at this right here in order to get away from this and head this off, that's going to give you the facelift that you need. And then also it's going to keep us in a position to keep that bottom line going. And for him to say it now, it's an aha moment for him. It's reactive. In hindsight, it's 2020 all the time, but they need to have some foresight. And they need to have people in there with foresight that's going to help them pass these bumps and these bruises in order to, get there where people look at them and see them as in a better light because they have the power and they're seeing that something has to be done. And there's 80% of us out there on the field, man. So you got to take care of us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What if Goodell got in a room and said, "Listen, guys, this is off the record. I can't do this. I can't because the owners, I report to them. Right. But if y'all decide, and I'm strongly saying, if y'all decide, get what I'm saying, that you're not going to play, and I can go to owners and say, hey guys, we got no product. The guys are saying they're not going to play until we do something about these shootings, and the owners don't believe it, but then they start losing paychecks, income. On the first 2, 3, 4 games. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, listen, let me call the president or the senator or the district attorney in Wisconsin or whatever the case may be. And Goodell is like, I didn't do it, but he told them it's got to be done. And oh yeah, by the way, here's the way you can do it. And everybody gets what they want.
Right. That very well could be the process that has to happen. We have to get creative in order to get this change facilitated. It's just like buying a house. If you don't have the credit score for it, or if you don't have a down payment, they're going to figure out a way to get you in that house and be as creative as possible. So it takes people that look at it, through that lens. It takes people that look at it things from an adaptive process and say, you know what, I can be transformational with this move, and I can inspire a nation of millions to go do this. But they have to be forward thinking, and they have to have people like myself, like you, like others in the organizations that think like this and can think outside of the box and can pivot at the drop of a dime. I don't care what goes on. I can pivot at any moment and still be able to connect with everybody in the building, all the fans, the former players and the current players, and we still be able to do what we need to do. And that's what they got to get away from. It's how we've always done business. It's how we've always done it. That's the easiest way for you to lose out each and every time. And the money that you're making, that's going to dwindle at some point. That's definitely something that needs to happen. That conversation should be happening right now.
Right now. Yeah. Again, bro, I don't want to hear lift every voice and sing week one.
Yeah,
I don't want to see kneeling down before the anthem and everybody standing up during the anthem. No, I want to see the killers of Breonna Taylor get arrested, Elijah McClain get arrested, the man who shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times.
Right.
He's got to be arrested. I'm sorry. He's got to be arrested. So, keep all the theatrics and let's get some results. Garrick, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you so that they can see some results.
Man, well, that chicken rack that is scrolling has the link to my petition. You can search me out, Google or whatever search engine you use. Just look at Garrick Jones, put football there, and everything will pop up. Or you can search out hashtag GJ or GM, and everything that I'm posting has that hashtag in it. So you'll get a chance to see everything from the petition, from the GM push, the sports agency that we're going to put together, my developmental football league, all of the ancillary products and programs that I'm a part of, the diversity and inclusion programs that I'm heading, any and everything, man. I mean, I'm trying to be as active as possible so that people get a chance to really see what I'll be bringing to the table in regards to being a general manager in the NFL, man, because we need diversity and inclusion, because diversity and inclusion could be the deciding factor of winning and losing. And it's just
Absolutely, man. I'll tell you what, I said it earlier. I don't feel like interacting with anybody right now, but bro, I'm going to get myself together and be back on that call on Thursday night, man. I can't wait. Looking forward.
Man. Please do, man, because you'll enjoy it, man. We did some breakout sessions that were really quick, but when we come back, man, that's when we really drill down and the homework that was given to really think about all the biases that you have, the unconscious bias, the different things and how you were raised, your cultural awareness, the groups that you've been around, and you'll find out that everybody in that room is alike in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and color has nothing to do with it at that point. Once you really start to see it and you get a chance to get those highs and those lows of those stories of everybody, and you have people that want to really learn from you and really understand what it's like to be Black in America, and they really want to learn and be taught. And now you are a teacher in a sense. And when people are done, they're like, man, that was powerful. And that's exactly what we are, man. We're going to be change agents. We're going to keep our foot on the gas, man, and just be consistent with this thing and just continue to infect the right way in order to change the dynamic of this world, man. That's what we're doing.
Man, I thank you for including me in that. Like I said, I'll be there. But Garrick, thank you, brother, for always being available to us. And, man, we're always better for the time that you spend with us here on the lunch break.
I'm here, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Garrick Jones, y'all, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Like you said, on the ticker is the information. And Google him, Garrick, Garrick Jones, and you will be blessed. Trust me. I appreciate you, man. We're getting ready to take a break right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. We'll be back with more. If you got more calls based on what we did in the first hour, hit us up, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
No problem, brother. No problem, man.
All right, man. If I don't talk to you before then, I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Absolutely, brother. See you soon, man.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. Again, want to thank Garrick Jones for dropping in on us today. Very good conversation. again, I know a lot of folks don't like to talk about these things that, in their opinion, have nothing to do with sports. But again, there are several teams in the NBA that are literally talking about not playing in the second round of the playoffs as long as nothing is being done about what happened to Jacob Blake up in Wisconsin. And I know a lot of you, want to hit him with the just shut up and dribble. But, again, this thing could have some lasting impact. So we'll see how all that works out. If you want to call 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, it is the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
I'm Linda J. We all know Election Day is just around the corner. We want change. We need change. We can be the change. Exercise your right for change on Election Day. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. So let's roll to the polls in record numbers, and we can make that change. This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-961-2730. 800-961-2730. That's 800-961-2730.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid in full within 12 months. Other conditions apply. We've adjusted our operations to serve you safely following all CDC guidelines. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for details.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, what's
going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Winning Wednesday, and I got to tell you, I keep saying I'm not feeling like we're winning. I'm not feeling like we're winning. Man, something's got to give. And the folks that are just, I don't want to call them indignant, but, bringing up somebody's criminal history to justify them getting shot for something that there are already laws on the books. Resisting arrest, fleeing an officer, assault, assault on a peace officer. There's laws on the books for that, and they carry with them a penalty, fines, time in jail. I guess my problem is why it's so easily acceptable for an officer to circumvent that and immediately go to the death penalty. I don't know one officer that shot a person in these cases where they said, "Oh, I was just trying to wound them, stop them from resisting, stop them from fleeing. I wasn't trying to kill them. I was just trying to wound." I don't know one. So if that be the case, then why are we justifying officers taking all the laws into their own hands and violating the constitutional right? And whether you like it or not, even criminals have constitutional rights. Circumventing all those processes, taking all the laws as if there's some type of judge or some type of jury into their own hands and executing a death penalty on a person for resisting arrest or attempting to flee or assaulting them, whatever the case may be. And then there are laws on the books that stop families and people who have been harmed by the police from suing them civilly. And obviously they need the help of district attorneys and those kind of people to pursue them criminally. So you've taken all the recourses away from people who have been unjustifiably wronged. The crimes aside, if you do it right, they will be justly punished for their crimes and have a chance to face a jury of their peers or a judge and be properly sentenced for their crimes. But arbitrarily, more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times, I can't count the number, a police officer has circumvented that process. And literally people feel like, oh, well, they should have obeyed the officer. I didn't obey the officer, so now I gotta die. Or, oh, my child didn't obey the officer, so now they have to die. Like, I cannot believe that we have reached that level where we're that uncivilized. I mean, the great nation that everyone wants us to honor and stand up for the flag and stand up during the national anthem and respect the president and respect, people who have different rights and different beliefs and what have you. We have become that uncivilized that we're supposed to just say, okay, when an officer usurps all the constitutional rights of a citizen of the United States of America or a visitor of the United States of America and executes a sentence of death on them by gunshot. I mean, even murderers get a respectful death. You know, they got to pass certain, standards to be able to execute somebody in a prison, but not on the street. And all certain people can say is, oh yeah, if they would just obey and comply and what have you. The man got shot 7 times in the back. George Floyd got knelt on for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Ahmaud Arbery got shot in the street by non-peace officers, and the people that we elected to uphold the laws chose not to enforce the laws against those people. Breonna Taylor, they broke into the wrong house and inexplicably killed a woman who they were not even looking for. And there's no repercussions. It's just, oh, my bad. Sorry about your friend. And our nation is as great as it is, or as great as y'all want us to believe it is. The anthem is so great. In the land of the free and the home of the brave. The flag is so prestigious, but it doesn't cover that. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. And if it's that way for you, and it means those things to you, then it should mean those things to me. It should mean those things to Jacob Blake. It should have meant those things to Breonna Taylor. It should have meant those things to Ahmaud Arbery. It should have meant those things to Philandro Castro, Eric Garner. It should have meant those things to all of them. But I don't think that people even hear themselves on how uncivilized they sound when it comes to their justification of a violation of people's constitutional rights on a regular basis. And I hate to say it, I almost feel like it has to start happening to the other cultures for it to matter enough to them that they fix it for all cultures. And I don't want that. When people tell me they don't believe in systematic racism, part of me says, good. I'm glad you've never experienced systematic racism. I wouldn't wish it on an enemy, but I certainly don't want to live under it myself and have my children try and live their best life under it, and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. If we can kill it for everybody, then nobody will have to believe in it. I don't want to debate with you whether all lives matter. I agree, all lives matter. But for some reason, right now, I know the numbers say that more white people than black get killed by police officers. But if you look at, based on the number of black people and white people that there are and normalize it, the number's higher. And if you can't do that kind of math, we're not in the same conversation. I agree, all lives matter. For some reason, the black ones are being killed disproportionately over stuff that they should be incarcerated or prosecuted or fined or whatever, but not killed. If you can't understand that, then that's uncivilization. You're literally saying, I'm too uncivilized to understand the difference. Take a break. Be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free, guaranteed health insurance quote, starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921. Paid for by Go Health.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all, back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Winning Wednesday, and got a couple of text messages that have come in. Willie Gibson says that North Carolina State's opening game at Virginia Tech, scheduled for September the 12th, has officially been moved. The teams will play on September the 26th. The decision comes in the wake of NC State athletics taking a pause because of 22 new positive COVID-19 cases in their athletic department. And I agree with you, Willie. Just don't play. Just don't play. Just don't play. I'm hoping that the collegiate players get in on this movement. I mean, think about it. You can shoot us, you can kill us, you can beat us, you can kneel on us, but yet you demand and expect for us to be a part of your entertainment. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and shoot. Shut up and play. People don't want to hear from LeBron James on social justice issues. Folks don't want to hear that. But some kind of way, these collegiate athletes are supposed to support the incomes of the college towns that they chose to go to school in, and the salaries of the Nick Sabans, the Dabo Sweeneys, the Scott Frost, and I'm calling the ones that I don't like. I am. I'm doing what other media personalities do to people that they don't like. Supposed to support their salaries. I wish the kids would say, "Hey, listen, stop killing us and we'll play." But they won't. They won't. What was that movie, Too Big to Fail? NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, MMA, too big to fail. And I don't mean it. I don't believe it. I mean, heck, the Roman Empire fell. Rome fell. Every great dynasty has fallen. I don't have a voice to the black athletes or even the compassionate athletes of these major sports leagues. But if I did, I would tell them, I would ask them, what's more important right now? You playing or us dying? Well, us dying. Well, then you can't play right now. Let's just see. Let's see if not playing will get their attention. Because if they can't sustain your life, why should they get to celebrate your talent and be entertained by your talent? If they can't respect your life, why should they get to be entertained by your talent? Oh, AJ, you're making everything about race. We got another black man that got shot in a situation that he should not have gotten shot in. And it's not like the officer shot him once. Officer didn't shoot him once to stop him. He didn't just shoot him twice to stop him. He shot him 7 times. He pulled the trigger. It wasn't an automatic machine gun. It wasn't like he touched the trigger and 7 fired off before he knew what was happening. He pulled that trigger 7 times in a man's back. And is just at home or on desk duty or living his life. While Jacob Blake is fighting for his. Because he chose to break up a fight. Police show up. They make him to be the bad guy. He's there to break up a domestic situation. He's walking off. He's like, man, forget this. I'm out. Should he have? No. Should he have complied? Sure. But he goes to get into the car where his 3 children, his 3 boys are, and he gets shot in the back, not once, not twice, but 7 times. It's like when LeBron say, hey, man, we in Miami, we're not going to just win, not just 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Everybody's like, they going to win 7 championships. This man got shot in the back 7 times. Because he walked away from a police officer and opened his car door. Well, AJ, you have to understand, the officer didn't know if he was reaching for a gun or a knife or whatever. Not 7 times in the back. If you're that scared, you don't need to be a police officer. If you are that scared that just by him opening the door, you unload 7 times in him, you are in the wrong job. And I know I got police officer friends out there and people who call themselves my friends as police officers who take exception every time I have conversations like this. But I'm sorry. If you're that scared, then Doc, go be a lifeguard. go run a pizza joint. Go do something else. You don't need to be handling a gun where you might shoot somebody because you're scared 7 times. And I'm not talking about defund the police. I'm talking about getting the ones that are that afraid off the force. Let them go direct traffic. I don't know if I want them doing that because they wear guns when they do that. Take their gun away as a police officer. Let them go through the process of getting it through the Second Amendment and let them do that. And that way, if they pull a gun on me, I can pull a gun back on them because they're not an officer of the law because they're too scared to manage that responsibility. I wish the players would all come together on this. I really do. I know y'all don't like it. But Jason Whitlock and Marcellus Wiley and anybody that feels like, this is just posturing and this is just selling of race and this is just race baiting and all those terms and it's the cancel culture and all of that. Man, stop it. People are dying for real. You're coming up with flashy terms. If I hear race card one more time, y'all gonna have to bail me out. Race is not a card to be played like it's a game. People have died because they were black. Oh, AJ, people have died because they're white. That doesn't make it even any better. It doesn't have to be one or the other. We can be mad about both. I'm as mad about the 5-year-old as I'm as mad about everybody else black. Well, AJ, you didn't say anything about it. I'm not the spokesperson and shouldn't have to be the spokesperson for race relations. I want to be on here talking about sports. Doc Rivers. Hold on, let me find that article. Doc Rivers said, y'all don't care about us. Let me find it. Doc Rivers. He said, y'all don't care about black people. Let me find the article. Here, let me, I want to play some of this. Let me see if I'm allowed to play it. Bear with me. Yeah, of course it's got. Y'all stay right there. I want to get this on real quick. Get in the. Oh, God.
Blake, which times, there's a picture of him there, in the back, on camera, and in front of those children we see there, his 3 young sons. There is still no explanation from police as to why he was shot, what police saw, what justification they are claiming there, and now a deeply emotional response from the coach of the LA Clippers, Doc Rivers. Rivers addressing Blake's shooting and the current Republican National Convention.
All you hear is Donald Trump and all of them talking about fear. We're the ones getting killed. We're the ones getting shot. We're the ones that we're denied to live in certain communities. We've been hung. We've been shot. And all you do is keep hearing about fear. It's amazing to me why we keep loving this country and this country does not love us back.
Man, I cannot say it any better than that. You want me to know how much, and hear me when I say I stay away from other people's politics. Notice I said other people's politics. But people want to tell me how good I have it as a black man thanks to Donald Trump, and how good I have it in America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. And if I don't like it, go somewhere else. As if for some reason I'm not as much of a citizen of this country as anybody else. But Doc Rivers said it as best as I could, possibly. We're supposed to keep loving this country. But I'll be doggone if it does not look like, feel like, seem like this country doesn't love us back. I'm sorry, that's a multimillionaire. That's an NBA champion. You can't shrug him off as some politician. He's not running for anything. Oh, he's a liberal. Those are liberal talking points. If you don't get out of these politics and start realizing that people are dying while you're running around sounding like a religious nut, if that's all you got is liberal and conservative, then go. Speak, Lord. People are dying. Stop telling me I got to love something that does not appear to love me back. What's the syndrome? What's the syndrome where, Stockholm syndrome, where you're supposed to love your captors? I don't have Stockholm syndrome. And it's time for people to stop expecting black people to have Stockholm syndrome. What's Stockholm syndrome? The people that are your captors, you're supposed to fall in love with them. Dr. Martin Luther King said, just be true to what you said on paper, America. Just be true to what you said on paper. You want these guys to play? You want these ladies to play in the WNBA? You want them to play in the NFL, in college? You want the SEC? You want the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the ACC, the Big 12? You want all these conferences to play? Well, guess what? Why don't you start treating the athletes like they're your children and your family? Not just when they do stuff or say stuff that you like, but when they have problems too. Hey man, I feel like I'm under attack. I feel like I've been profiled. I feel like, you know, I was in a store, drugstore the other day, and I had to get something from behind the counter in the drugstore area. So I'm in, Walgreens or a CVS, and I had to go to the drugstore counter, and I got something that didn't require a prescription, didn't require my ID. It was just back there. And I asked the lady, ma'am, can I pay for this up front? I've got some other shopping to do. Oh, no, you can't do that. You've got to pay for it now. Well, ma'am, I don't have my other items. I'm not leaving the store. I'm a frequent shopper in your store. No, you need to pay for that here. This is different. Okay. All right. Problem number one, talking to me like I'm crazy. Problem number two, I hand her my card, my frequent shopper card and my credit card. She scans the frequent shopper card. I got my hand stuck out to get it back. She lays it down on the counter. I'm like, oh, okay. In my mind, that's what we're doing. So I put the card up, and then I hand her my credit card. She swipes that, and I have my hand stuck out to get it, and she lays it down. I said something then. No, ma'am, you're not going to disrespect me like that. You saw my hand stuck out. I handed it to you. Now pick it up and hand it back to me. And she's looking at me like, oh, I didn't mean any harm. Now she's the victim. Oh, I didn't mean any harm. I'm sorry. I didn't think you did. Well, I thought something about it. You did it the first time. I let it slide. You did it the second time. It's disrespectful. And oh, yeah, by the way, I've been here before. I know that I can get this product and still go shop and pay for it when I go out, because if I try to go out without paying for it, all the bells and whistles will go off. I've done this before. Let me take a break. I'll be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? Quick Cash Offer can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents and risking your safety by showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your home to foreclosure. If you have any equity in your home, we will buy it and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call Quick Cash Offer now before the economy gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just don't want to get the cash you need today.
800-780-1431. 800-780-1431. 800-780-1431. That's 800-780-1431.
An attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. That's 800-547-4170.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921.
This is Jonathan Joseph with the Houston Texans. All right, y'all. I'm back here on the lunch break. Got a bunch of calls coming in. Let me get to those before I go. Y'all stay right there. And hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, AJ, it's Keith Hennig.
Hey, Keith Hennig. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks, considering I'm in Waco, Texas. How are you doing?
Hey, man, Waco's not a bad town, man. Be sure and go to In-N-Out Burger up there, bro. Go get you some In-N-Out.
Yeah, that's what I will do.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Keith?
I'm just livid, man. I am livid about what is happening in this country. And you said it yourself, the Roman Empire fell, the Trump regime is going to fall too. And I really, really, in my heart of hearts, believe that things are going to change. I keep saying that and saying it, but every day it seems like there's another occurrence. But please be patient. Please, please be patient.
And Keith, I hear you, and I know your heart, man, but I got to tell you, bro, seeing that that press conference yesterday with that man's family, and
yes, sir.
It did, bro. It's like there's no way in the world that even before we got these other ones resolved, we're back here again. So I hear you, man, and I'm literally going to ride on your faith right now, because mine right now is like we got to do something different because this ain't working.
Oh, I understand. And I taught police officers for 14 years. 95% of them are outstanding people just doing their jobs. The other 5 are bad apples that are just looking for a way to get their name in the paper. And we just have to have faith that this is going to stop come January.
Yeah. And Keith, I believe that. I believe that 95 to 5% ratio. I really do. I know some very good police officers.
Of course.
Yeah, but the ones that are bad, man, that's too many, because look at what they're doing with the bad policing. So that's why I say if that man was that afraid, he don't need to be a police officer.
Well, I agree. And they have non-lethal weapons on their persons. They have tear gas. They have mace. They have tasers. They don't need to be firing live rounds at any human being.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Keith, I appreciate you, brother. Your comments are always helpful. Be safe up there in Waco, man.
I'll do it. You guys take care.
Keith Hennig, caller of the year 2020. Very good, brother. I appreciate his heart, too. Let me go ahead and get our next caller. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Brother AJ, how you doing? Ferdinand, into your lunch break. How you feeling, my brother?
Man, I'm here, Ferdinand. I'm here. Caller of the year 2017. I'm here, man, but I'm not, bruh. I ain't ready for no mess today. Like, today ain't the day.
Absolutely.
And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
No, I understand.
Yeah, if he just hadn't resisted arrest and if he just had complied and all that. Folks forget about the young man. He was a care provider for a young autistic boy down in Florida. The boy got out, and the man went to find him, and the police showed up, and the man was laying flat on his back with his hands up in the air, and the police still shot him.
Well,
so I don't want to hear that comply nonsense.
Yeah. AJ, I can't even really tell you what really needs to happen on the radio. I'd have to really get with you in person to talk to you about what really should happen and what needs to happen. The thing about it is that we're going to have to come up with some solutions. Government, the top officials going to have to come up with a solution because, AJ, I keep going back to the scripture. I hear what Keith is saying, but Keith, we're way past that. We can't go on broken promises anymore. If we don't wait, AJ, and think that things are going to change in this life without us doing absolutely something about it, sir, it's not going to happen. Now, we can do it the right way, because if it don't be done the right way, AJ, the wrong way is on the way. And we can't keep dying and think we got to wait till it happens to some other race. AJ, it's not going to happen to another race. It's happening to the races that they want it to happen to. So until we come down at the bargaining table and figure out what we need to do going forward, AJ, this is going to continue to happen. I mean, what are they not seeing, AJ, that we're seeing month to month? It's on the news every month, every couple of weeks. Some black person's been gunned down, knee over the throat, dying for absolutely no reason. I don't believe, and I'm gone, that my father sent me here to be brutalized and terrorized by anybody. Don't think you're going to do that to me, AJ, because you're not. AJ, I don't have a problem with being on this fact. I'm going to protect me and my family by any means necessary. I love God, but I'm going to be like David. And when you have the favor from God, man, nothing going to bother you. So, AJ, we got some major problems. I'm going to pray for you, and surely pray for me. And I got a package for you this evening. I'm going to need for you to either pick up. I'm going to come meet you.
Okay, man. Hey, Ferdinand, you talking my language, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, have a good one. Bless you. Bless you, my brother.
God bless you, too. Be safe out there, Ferdinand. Listen, I hear him, and I feel what he's saying, because let me tell you something. People fought for the right to have slaves. You don't think a group of people will fight for their right to have freedom? Let that sink in for a second. Not saying that that's what we want. Not saying that that's what's going to happen. But if people can fight for the right to own slaves, you don't think that eventually people are going to fight for the right to have freedom? And don't give me your version of freedom. You don't get to tell me how free I am. You don't get to tell me how good I have it when you're constantly shooting people that look like me over stuff that there are plenty of options between the crime and the sentence that you're giving them. And if you can justify, then I say it again, that level of uncivilization, I don't want to be a part of. I don't want it to start happening to you. I don't. And I certainly don't want it to keep happening to us. I got to get ready to go. Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, Game 5, 5:30. And then you got Lakers in Portland tonight at 8 without Dame Lillard. Milwaukee and Orlando about to tip off at 3. Giannis Antetokounmpo named Defensive Player of the Year. Mavs couldn't handle it last night. Clippers came out on a mission, blew them off the court, 154-111. Luka, I'm not liking the way that Morris, how that looked. It looked a whole lot like Kawhi Leonard and Sasha Pachulia to me, and I've been raking Sasha Pachulia over the coals because of what he did to Kawhi. I'm going to go back and look at it again on the Luka thing. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looked, didn't like the way it felt. So, again, Game 6 in that series will be tomorrow night at 8. Denver beat Utah last night, 117-107. Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray went off again, 42 and 30. Utah's still up 3-2. Game 6 will be tomorrow at 3. That's all I got. I don't want to talk baseball, and football's a little too far away. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. In the morning, you got Erica Campbell and Griff Get Up Mornings, 6, 10. Then you got Shiloh Radio. And, of course, all of that is weather permitting. I'm going to take the day off tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off tomorrow. I won't be in tomorrow. Lord say the same, and if everything is weather permitting, I'll be back on Friday. Yeah, I'm not going to be in tomorrow. So, again, y'all stay safe. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I do love you. There's nothing you can do about it except stop killing us. Wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize everything around you. Give people their 6 feet. When you see racism, kill it, not the people, the racism. But stop killing us. Stop shooting us. That's it. That's all I got. Y'all be blessed.
All right, y'all. I want to thank Garrick Jones for sitting in with me today. I want to appreciate Kelsey Nicole Nelson. I want to appreciate Valencia King, colleagues of mine who just are always so supportive. David Grubb, love him. And I love you, Lunch Breakers. I love you. I want y'all to hear my heart. I want y'all to know that I do. I love everybody. But, man, this has got to stop. Us loving everybody doesn't mean that we don't get to say stuff about what's wrong. And that's every culture. It's every culture. So y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe out there. And if you're in the Louisiana, Texas area, be safe with the storm. Don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly. If you're in an area that needs to evacuate, evacuate. You can always come back to your stuff, but don't put yourself or the first responders in unnecessary risk because you calculated wrong. Okay. All right, y'all. Be blessed. We'll talk to you soon.